one gift that God has given me, the love of books. The golden key that opens an enchanting door to worlds I never knew before. A world of imagination that carried me from pole to pole within a twinkling eye and back again. As a boy, I traveled to places impossible for me to see, and yet my bookshelf made them real to me. The world of my bookshelf, I'll remember it always.
This is The Bookshelf. Adaptations of favorite Christian children's literature. Stories brought to life by The Bookshelf.
The Department of Broadcasting of the Moody Bible Institute brings you the third in a 15-chapter series of The Prairie Princess, created by Margret Epp and freely adapted for radio by Phyllis Fox. The Prairie Princess is the story of the intense joys, disappointments, and personal spiritual growth of the lives of the Scott family, as told by the youngest girl, Sarah Naomi Scott, the Prairie Princess.
Well, 5 more minutes and we'll start getting ready for church. Did Herbie plan on picking you up, or were you riding with us, Kathy?
I told him I'd meet him. By the time Susan finishes changing into clean clothes, he wouldn't be able to make the drive around to here before heading for church.
Sheila, I want to talk with you a few minutes.
You want me to go in, Dad?
No, Kathy. This has to do with you.
Did you bump into Sarah?
More like tackled her. She's running hard.
I never realized she didn't like Herbie.
Kathy, I don't think she could like anyone when it means you might be leaving home.
But we haven't talked about marriage.
Yeah, but you're looking like you might.
Dad.
Oh, isn't that cute? She's blushing.
Oh, she blushes just like you, honey.
About Sarah, Dad, maybe it would help if I talked with her.
No, I think that's a good idea. The way she was running, I don't think she intended to come back to go to church. My guess, she's heading for her hiding place and isn't coming out until she's good and ready.
Or cold and scared.
Yes. That spot in the barn isn't the most comfortable when the night air sets in.
How did you know where she hides?
Same way I knew your hideout was in the windmill.
You didn't.
You'll find out that parents can be pretty smart people.
Well, I'll never deny that.
Sarah's just where I said she was. And if you don't mind missing the service tonight, maybe you can spend the time talking with her. I don't like her to miss church, but I've got a feeling that your talk will do her a lot more good just now.
Would you mind explaining to Herbie and also the pastor?
Maybe Herbie can come over for a bite to eat after he drops his mom off.
That'd be nice. Well, I'll go put on some old clothes and head out to Sarah's very secret hiding place. Sarah, are you up there? Sarah? Sarah, I know you're up there. Please, Sarah, Dad and Mom left for church and they want you and I to talk.
Leave me alone.
Please, Sarah, let's talk.
I don't want to talk. I want you to go away.
Well, I'm not going to go away. I'm going to sit and wait until you let me come up and talk.
Well, then you'll be waiting all night, because I'm not coming down.
Have it your own way. But I'll just settle myself in and... Oh! Help!
Kathy, are you all right? Kathy!
I think I am.
Stay there. Don't move. I'll use the other ladder. Kathy, oh, I'm so sorry. Are you hurt?
No, I'm all right. It was really nothing. I've taken worse falls than that.
Kathleen Scott, did you fall on purpose?
Did I what?
You heard me.
Sarah Naomi, I came out here to talk with you, and I would have waited all night until you wanted or needed someone to talk to. Falling off the ladder wasn't anything I planned on. What do you take me for?
Well, you're not hurt.
Yes, I am hurt.
You are? Where?
My heart.
Your heart?
Yes, it hurts because I don't want my favorite sister to dislike someone I love dearly.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean.
I didn't say I didn't like him.
Do you like him?
I guess I do. But not like I do Mom or Dad, or you, or Robbie or Stuart.
Well, I can understand that.
Can you?
When I first met Herbie, I didn't like him like my own family. But then, as I got to know him, well, Sarah, we're in love.
Well, I don't think I could ever fall in love with Herbie.
I don't want you to fall in love with Herbie. Just give him a chance. Try to like him.
Well, I like him all right, just like I like Susan. But why do you have to marry him? I mean, wouldn't you rather wait and see if somebody more important comes along?
Well, first of all, marriage hasn't been talked about. But what do you mean, more important?
Well, like a doctor or a lawyer?
What's wrong with loving someone who wants to be a farmer? Our daddy's a farmer. Don't you think he's important?
Of course I do. Why, he's the most important person in the whole world.
He's not a doctor or a lawyer.
Yeah, but he's my daddy.
And Herbie is somebody I love very much. And that makes him a pretty important person to me. Sarah, he likes you a lot. And I know he'd be very sad if he knew you weren't even going to give him a chance to show how nice and wonderful he is.
I didn't say I wasn't going to give him a chance.
Oh.
It's just that, Kathy, I love you so much and I don't know, I just love you so much.
And I love you too, Princess.
I'm never going to fall in love.
We'll see, Princess. We'll see. But right now, would you give Herbie a little chance? It'd mean a lot to me. And to Mom and Dad.
Sure. I mean, I'll try, but I'm not making any promises.
Night air getting to you?
Yeah.
Why don't we go in the house?
We missed church, didn't we?
Yes, but Mom and Dad thought it was more important to see what was bothering you.
Are they mad?
Why should they be mad?
'Cause we missed church.
Sarah, church is very important in our lives because it's a public way of showing what we believe. And it's a coming together to worship Jesus with other believers. But it's something we do out of desire, not because we're forced. And sometimes other things come up that take precedent. That doesn't mean we're cheating on worshiping God. These little talks bring us closer as a family. And then we can worship God in union. What kind of evening would we have had if we chased you down and without even discussing what was wrong, shoved you off to church? That wouldn't have solved anything. You can be sure Mom and Dad remembered you in prayer during the service.
Oh.
You know what I'd like to do right now?
What's that?
Go on inside, get something warm in your stomach, and we'll read the scriptures together and pray.
If you want to.
Yes, Sarah. I want to very much. And someday you're going to feel the same way.
Painting a picture this time was pretty hard. Kathy was so understanding, not bossy at all, and me trying to still be stubborn. But Kathy was so full of love, I couldn't be stubborn, try as I might. So we went in for cookies and warm milk, and she opened the Bible to, you guessed it, the story of the lost lamb. I sat there, gritting my teeth. This time, I wasn't going to run away, but I wasn't going to be found either. I'd just listen and pretend it was like any other story, and it didn't bother me a bit. Then Kathy prayed. I made up some excuse like I wanted to pray alone, so I squeezed by that evening, promising myself that I wasn't going to let that lost lamb story or anything Kathy, Mom, Dad, Miss Hammond, or anybody get me scared again. As for Herbie, well, I tried to like him, but not very hard. So that's the way I thought all through spring, and it worked, sort of. That is, if I didn't think very hard. Besides, when summer started coming on, I started getting excited about lots of things. Chickens and colts being born, half-school days, and yellow sweet peas growing along the road. Those yellow sweet peas were very important, 'cause they meant we could go barefoot, 'cause those flowers don't come out unless it's warm enough.
Yippee! No more shoes!
Boy, am I glad you spotted those sweet peas. My feet were steaming hot, and Mom said I couldn't take off my shoes until I found the sweet peas bloomin'.
We better bring some home so we can prove we saw 'em.
Good idea.
I wonder whose car is coming.
I don't know, but we better get to the side of the road.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be run over.
Hey, it's Aunt Jane.
Maybe she'll give us a ride.
Hey, Aunt Jane!
Hi, Aunt Jane.
How would you two like to ride part way?
Oh, wow, yes.
That would be real nice, Aunt Jane.
Should we put our shoes back on?
I don't think that's necessary.
Rub your feet, though, so there isn't any extra dust.
You both in?
Yep.
We certainly appreciate this, Aunt Jane.
My pleasure, Sarah. Whew, how was school?
Just a half day.
That's real nice for you.
I'll say.
I've got a surprise for you. My young niece is coming to live with me.
Oh, yes, we know.
Oh, you do you? Well, just what do you know, I wonder?
Well, we heard things. Different things.
Like what?
Well, Susie Blunt said she was 12 years old, but then Sally Rand said she was 17.
Yeah, and Sally told me she wasn't going to come to school because she couldn't speak English because she'd been born in India.
I thought Sally said she was born in Bolivia.
Well, I must say you youngsters have vivid imaginations.
It wasn't us, Aunt Jane. Miss Hetty just said she read the postcard you got about your niece coming.
Sounds just like Miss Hetty. Reading other people's mail.
I didn't mean to say anything.
It's all right.
When's she coming? What's her name?
Well, her name is Linda Bolton, and she's just your age, Sarah.
Oh, boy! Is her dad coming with her?
No, he couldn't.
What about her mom?
Her mother passed away when she was 5.
Oh.
And something else. Linda has infantile paralysis.
What's that?
You mean she's lame?
Yes.
Oh, Aunt Jane, that's awful. I just hope she'll let me be her friend.
Me too.
Won't your parents object?
Of course not. They'd want us to be.
I'm glad.
When's she coming?
Yeah, when?
May 25th. I thought, Sarah, that you might like to drop over for tea that day.
Oh, I'd love that.
And as soon as she gets settled, Robbie, we can invite you over, too.
That's okay with me, Aunt Jane.
All right, I'm going to drop you off at the bend. You can walk the rest of the way, okay?
I'll tell my mom about Linda. And thanks, Aunt Jane, for inviting me.
Well, it's our pleasure, Sarah. Well, here we are.
Thanks for the ride, Aunt Jane.
Yeah.
It sure is a nice car.
I hope we didn't get the floor dirty with our dusty feet.
Don't worry about it. Now be sure to tell your parents about the 25th.
How could I forget? I'm so excited, Aunt Jane. Just imagine my very own friend just 1 mile away.
It makes me happy to know that you're so excited. Well, be careful now walking across the field.
We will, Aunt Jane.
See you later.
Sarah,
Yes, Aunt Jane?
say hello to your mother for me. And your father.
I will, Aunt Jane. I will.
This has been the third in a 15-chapter series of The Prairie Princess, created by Margret Epp and freely adapted for radio by Phyllis Fox. Join us next time as we bring you the 4th chapter of The Prairie Princess.
You've been listening to another dramatic adaptation of Christian children's literature, brought to life by the Bookshelf. This has been a radio presentation produced by the Broadcasting Department of the Moody Bible Institute.